सोच में सकारात्मकता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844-844-0632। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने 844-844-0632।
Namaskar, hello and a very warm welcome to CIET NCERT's special live phone-in interactive program called Sahyog, Guidance for Mental Well-being of the Children. My name is Tanvi Khurana. At this moment, you're watching us on eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12. And the topic that we are going to discuss today is psychological well-being and growth mindset. So these are the two words that I'm sure you're familiar with, well-being and mindset. But what is it regarding these two terms that we are going to discuss? Growth mindset, what do we understand by that, and how can we achieve that? There's a lot to discuss regarding this topic, and if you have any questions, any queries, please reach out to us. You can simply call us on our number, that is 8800440559. If you want to email us, the email ID would be sahyog.ncert@ciet.nic.in. Let me tell you that at this moment you're watching us on our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official. In the live chat box, you can write down your questions, your queries and share them with us. We have two experts and they'll be more than happy to answer all your queries, all your doubts. Let me tell you that this entire program Sahyog comes under the initiative MANODARPAN, and the MANODARPAN is an initiative by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, for providing psychosocial support to all the children, to all the students and their parents as well. And if you have any doubts and you want to connect to this particular initiative called MANODARPAN, there's a toll-free number as well, which is 844-844-0632. You can call on this number anytime you want and get all the counseling that you want. So let me please introduce the guest of this particular program. We have our first guest, Dr. Varun Ashokan. Sir, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you. Good evening to all.
Good evening to you too as well, sir. Sir is an assistant professor from Regional Institute of Education, NCERT, Bhubaneswar. And along with him, we have one more guest. She is Dr. Rasna Sehrawat. Sir, ma'am, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much and namaskar to all.
Namaskar, ma'am. Aapko bhi. Ma'am is a practicing counselor, and along with that, ma'am is an assistant professor of education from Amity University, Noida. So without further ado, let's begin with this conversation. And like I said, that when we people generally talk or debate about or discuss about the students, generally the words mindset and well-being come up in the conversation, usual conversation. So ma'am, would you like to illuminate on this idea of well-being? What do we understand by it, and what's exactly do we understand, or what is this idea stands for, ma'am?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Ms. Tanvi. See, well-being is actually a comprehensive idea that includes various aspects of singular's life, an individual's life, mirroring their general personal satisfaction and feeling of satisfaction as well, be it a physical well-being, be it a mental well-being, or the emotional aspect or the social aspect, right? Every one of which actually adds to individual's feeling of well-being. Physical well-being, it incorporates factors like sustenance, workout, rest quality, keeping up with energy levels. Then coming to mental well-being, which is a very, very important aspect if you talk in terms of today's examination concept of the students, those who are giving their board examination. So when mental well-being is mental adaptability, flexibility, confidence, right? All these viewpoints are very, very important in terms of mental well-being. And definitely the decent outlook of oneself, overseeing the pressure really and keeping an uplifting perspective in life. That is very important. Emotional well-being, that is the third aspect, and a very, very important aspect, because they're gone are the times when we talk about IQs, but now we are talking about EQs and SQs as well. So emotional well-being is also one of the aspects that we need to talk about, right? And I may say that it is the capacity to express as well as the freedom to express. When a freedom of speech is given, why not a freedom to express is given to our students? It should be given so that they are able to manage the feelings, they are able to develop their high EQ levels, and they have their strong emotional well-beings. So it is the responsibility of all of us. So that incorporates the third aspect of well-being, which is an emotional aspect. Then fourth aspect is the social aspect. Definitely a connection between within ourselves, and a connection between others, the social connection, right? And one's connection as well. So it envelops various factors like social help is there, relational correspondence is there, feeling of having a place at one place is there, feeling associated with others is there. So all these aspects make the social well-being. Well-being is not just a shortfall of sickness or a misery which is taken as, right? It is instead a condition of prospering, a condition of flourishing across various aspects of life. That should be the perspective, as also emphasized by one of the psychologists, a big psychologist who has given us the concept of positive psychology, Martin Siegelman, right? He was the one who gave the concept of positive psychology with an emphasis, leaving with an emphasis on happiness. And he was the one who converted this concept of happiness of positive psychology after a decade into a concept of flourishing. That well-being is not just happiness. We take, if we are happy, we have a strong well-being. No, we need to flourish, we need to develop, and accomplishing and keeping up with these well-being aspects, regarding every one of these aspects, we need to be strong. And moreover, well-being is something which is dynamic, and it can vacillate over the long haul, considering changes in life conditions, in varied encounters and varied inward states of ours, right? There are certain questions that need to be answered by all of us to make our life, to give meaning to our life, to develop satisfaction, and to develop well-being in us. And the very first question is, who am I? What defines me, right? Then how can I be happy? Why am I so dissatisfied with life? What I don't have? What is a good life according to me or according to somebody else? All these questions need to be answered. What is my calling? What should I do with my life? All these questions, we need to overhaul. Okay, these things are very important. So well-being is more than just happiness. In addition to feeling satisfied, in addition to feeling happy, well-being means developing a person, being fulfilled, and contributing to the community, to the society, to the nation, and to the globe. So our self needs to be regulated by self through self-initiated practices. It is nobody else is going to turn up to you. Everything has to be done by self to develop your well-being. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for clarifying the idea of well-being. Generally is the idea that well-being is being happy, but it's much more than that. Thank you so much. And let's understand the other term that I mentioned, mindset. We generally say that every person has a different mindset. We all are different people. So, Dr. Ashokan, would you like to tell us that what exactly does mindset means? And if someone needs to develop a particular mindset, how can he or she do that? Sir.
Yeah, before I start with what is mindset, I like to tell a story.
Okay.
So mostly people know, or the viewers know the story. It is this elephant and the rope story. So one day what happened, a stranger walked towards an elephant camp. So he saw the elephant. It's a very big elephant, but it's tied in the rope. So he has a lot of question in his mind. The elephant is very big, but it is tied in a small rope. Why if the elephant wants to escape from the place, it can escape because the rope is very small and thin, but it is tied. So for his wonder, he went and asked to the trainer who trains the elephant. See, this elephant is so big, it is not in the cage, it is not even chained. how it is just tied in a rope and it is not going away from, it stays, it's not going away. So the trainer replied to the stranger and told, see, these elephants are trained from, when they were a toddler, when they were a very, calf level stage. So once it is tied, it has a mindset that, okay, they cannot go away. So within the rope itself, it is tied, so the elephant cannot go. It's the elephant's mindset, it will not go. So the minds here, actually we are speaking about the growth mindset. So the term growth mindset explains if a person has a, if the person's attitude towards the challenge and how they adapt towards the challenge, how they try to overcome from the challenge, and deal with the challenge, how they take steps to come out from the challenge. Now, as we are targeting the school children and the teachers, so the children, particularly when they grow, they face a lot of challenges. Their mindset will be limited. In certain circumstances, they will not get a positive mindset. There will be a lot of limitations which they go through. So they needs to come out from. They should first accept what is happening, what are the challenges they face, and they try to process the challenge. Then they use certain strategies to come out from the challenges. It can be an exam, it can be the sports event, it can be the cultural events, whatever the task which they undertake. Probably they may fail at the beginning, and later once they accept the failure, they will measure what steps they lack and where they can develop, and where they can overcome from it. So how do they develop certain positive mindset or a certain growth mindset is plan their schedules, hard work, persistent, resistant towards the challenges, and they needs to overcome from the challenges. These are the mindset is usually here we are speaking is the growth mindset, the situation where they are in and how they want to come out from the situation, particularly the challenges, and how they can proceed and make a successful learning from it.
Okay, thank you. And now that we know what exactly is growth mindset and what is well-being, let's understand that how does mindset affect the well-being of an individual? Is it negative? Is it positive? So I would request Dr. Sehrawat to answer this question. Ma'am.
Yeah, so certainly. Mindset of an individual can significantly impact their well-being in various ways, varied ways. See, a positive outlook or an optimistic mindset or a growth mindset, which Sir was talking about, right? It tends to correlate with better well-being for sure. Optimistic individuals, they are often more resilient in the face of challenges, in the face of setbacks, which can contribute to lower levels of their stress and their anxiety. Then believing in one's ability to accomplish the task and overcoming the obstacles, which we call it as self-efficacy of an individual, that is also closely tied to well-being. Individuals with high sense of self-efficacy, they are more likely to take on the challenges, persist in the face of difficulties, experience greater sense of accomplishment, greater sense of satisfaction, and then people who practice mindfulness. This is the third one. Those who practice mindfulness, they tend to experience reduced stress levels, increased emotional regulations, and greater overall well-being. So this mindfulness, the ability of self-efficacy, being more resilient, able to face the challenges, all this can only happen when you have a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. When you have this divergent thinking process within you, when you can reflect upon, when you can introspect upon, and the only person who can actually do introspection is the one with the growth mindset only, right? And the one who is doing the introspection is coming out with the flaws, is coming out with the positives, is coming out with the negatives within himself. And definitely the process of modification is there, leading to the last step, which is called as a well-being. So mindset characterized by resilience enables the individuals to bounce back from varied adversities more effectively, Then resilient individuals, they perceive setbacks as very temporary, very manageable, and helps them maintain a sense of well-being even during these difficult times.
Okay.
Also, yes, cultivating a mindset of gratitude. Gratitude is a very, very important word in today's time when we are emphasizing upon the value structures. So I am adding to it, give me another second. Cultivating a mindset of gratitude involves recognizing and appreciating that positive aspect of within you and of another person's life. And practicing the gratitude is also associated with these improved moods, greater life of satisfaction and overall well-being. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And practicing for gratitude, you've mentioned it correctly, and I'm sure the children these days, they need to be grateful for many things that they have today, and this is a positive attitude for sure. So now let's understand that learning is also important for the children. So why is having a growth mindset important for learning of the children? So I would request Dr. Ashokan to answer this question. So
Yeah. So this growth mindset, how it develops for learning. So I like to bring the quote from Michael Jordan, even for his life itself. A lot of failures he undergo and how he became a famous basketball player. So he says he has failed thousands of times, but every time he learned something and achieved, and he becomes very famous basketball player later in his life. So how does it learns? So for example, if a student fails in some, not fail, if the student unable to perform certain level up to the level of their ability, then they have to analyze what is lack and how they can attain the learning outcome, which eventually leads to their academic achievement. So every time they should have a measures. So how they can learn, what are the process involved the learning. So then they can eventually lead to a better learning attainment. At the same time, there are various methods and support system which helps them to have a better learning, so that they can know that a positive mindset will help them to better learning. So they should also understand their environment, then try to take the supports from the community, from the local, and from the teachers, from the peer groups, for a better learning. So this, if they have a positive mindset, then they can face their challenges, and they can learn through their failures. It can be through their hard work, it can be through their persistence, it can be any method, which any positive method which eventually have a better learning through their failures.
okay. Thank you so much, sir. And because these days the exams have already started or about to start, and if we're talking about the students who are studying in class 10th and 12th, their board examination are right here, and all the students, they are preparing for it, and they need to stay calm, and their well-being is of utmost importance. So here I would like to ask ma'am, Rasna ma'am, would you like to tell us that any strategies, any methods, any procedures, a little bit of them which they can do, the students can do, and strengthen their own psychological well-being so that they can score good marks in their exams? Ma'am, any tips for the students?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
See, dealing with the well-being of the students, those who are showing up in the board test, is very vital to guarantee that they can perform surprisingly well while keeping up with their psychological well-being, right? And during this time of their exams, or during the time of even their career selection, which is actually these 2 years only, if we talk of two boards, 10th and 12th, so we should actually encourage equilibrium in their life. We means here parents and teachers I am talking about. We should stress the significance of a decent way of life to them. We should urge the learners to designate time for considering their unwinding, consider their active work, and consider their mingling, right? The social connection is also very, very important for a relaxed mind. Then discourage excessive studying at the expense of sleep, at the expense of exercise, and at the expense of social interaction, as I've already talked about physical well-being and mental well-being and social well-being, right? So this is very, very important. Please don't let your kids and let your students, don't ask them to study for 18 hours. Do not do that, please. Then the parents should promote sound propensities of their kids, like eating nutritious dinners, getting sufficient rest, remain hydrated, participate in regular physical activities. All these propensities, they support the well-being of your child, and it will definitely improve the mental capability and the focus, which we keep on saying, concentrate, meditate, right? So why not just take care of these basic propensities of our children? Then another can be that teach them the stress management techniques like deep breathing exercises, meditation, mindfulness, progressive muscle relaxation. Now this muscle relaxation can vary from individual to individual, so let them do it. Give them 5 to 10 minutes, and these techniques will help them reduce the anxiety levels and promote relaxation in them. Then a study climate, a very steady and a cool and a conducive climate should be given to our kids, to our students, where learners feel open to communicate their sentiments and their concerns. Right, energize open correspondence, give amazing open doors to the learners to look for daily encouragement, make them feel so comfortable that they can always turn up to you with their problems. This is even for the parents as well. Help students and your kids set realistic expectations for themselves regarding their academic performance. We do not want 95, 96% for a child who is actually who is actually the one who is having an actual potential of 65%, right? Because if I talk about the zone of proximal development by Vygotsky, then it is from actual level to the potential level, the very minimal level is there. You cannot take 65 to 95. I am not saying 100% you cannot take. It can happen, but that demands hard work, that demands consistency, right? And at the end of this time, when the boards have started, please don't pressurize them, right? So give them realistic expectations. Emphasize that their worth is not solely determined by their scores, by their exam scores. Encourage them to focus on their growth and learning rather than the grades and the marks. Teach students effective study skills like time management techniques. Help them study efficiently. Avoid feeling overwhelmed as well. Encourage them to break the study sessions into chunks, right? Information processing theory is there by Atkinson and Shiffrin. They also talk about a complete model wherein a working memory is needed to be very creative and very clean, right? And a chunking system is there to store in the information to the maximum. So all these has to be applied by us, by the teachers when teaching our students. Create a study schedule, proper active learning strategies to be emphasized, as also emphasized by Sir as well. So all these things, and also offer the scholastic help to the students in terms of mentoring, in terms of concentrate on the gatherings, in terms of various kind of audit meetings, right? Assist the learners with feeling wherein they develop a feeling that they are more secure and they are ready for their test, right? This is very, very important. Then look out for indications of stress also. Burnouts in the learners, when it is happening, how it is happening, what should be controlled. Is there any kind of mindset swings, or is there some kind of changes in conduct, or is there some kind of actual side effects which are turning up to the student? If it is turning up, why it is turning up? That should be our concern as teacher and parents. And at the last, for sure, promote a positive outlook to the students. Urge the learners, urge the students to take on a positive mentality and practice self-confirmation. Help them to remember their assets and their past victories. They may go into some kind of inferiority complex, but we are the ones who have to make them remember that yes, you can achieve, and you are an asset to us as a student, as a learner, and as a child to us, right? And urge them to move towards difficulties with a developmental outlook, growth mindset, a positive outlook, and even seeing disappointments and challenges or setbacks as any open doors for learning and development. Right. So by carrying out all these systems and cultivating a study and a sustaining climate, parents and teachers, they can assist the learners with dealing with their well-being during these difficult times of load-up tests, engaging them to play out their best while keeping a good overall arrangements in their lives with a high level of well-being. Thank you so much. much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for pinpointing that there's a huge responsibility that parents and teachers have, and they have a huge role while the students are going through all this stress and examination. They can do multiple things to calm their children down. So moving further here, you mentioned setbacks, and all the children, they also face setbacks, but at times they feel disappointed and they feel disheartened. So are there any methods that the students can turn setbacks into opportunities and they can learn something from it? So I would request Varun sir to answer this question. Sir. Varun sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, fine. Can you repeat the question? Is because I lost in.
Sure, sir. How can we turn the setbacks into opportunities for growth?
Okay, so I know when we say setbacks, there are different kinds of setbacks we can say. One is majorly we can say three. One is social setbacks and social setback, then environmental setback, then we have a self-made setback. For a social setback, it is majorly, it's not depend on the individual of because it has a lot of component around the society. So for that, how they can remove the barrier from social setbacks, like if they are facing some economical problem or if they don't have the resources, so they can obviously get into the community support, from the supports from the schools, from the supports from the other stakeholders who are willing to volunteer the child's for their learning. For environmental setbacks, sometimes we are not, it's not possible to help, but however the community can help for the better learning, for the the particular government or the policies we are having, which facilitate the child for a better learning. For example, the environmental setbacks can be the climatic conditions, the geographical conditions where the child face, and how they can overcome is again the government has a lot of policies and provisions, and child will the teachers will inform the whatever the facilities available for the child to learn through use those resources and utilize those resources and learn for and they have to learn. For the self-made setbacks, as ma'am already told, if they have to come out from the barrier, they have to plan their schedules. They should not think that they cannot do. They have to think in a positive way. So they have to have a proper plan and try to implement the plan and learn from it. So these are the certain setbacks where the child or the learner should come out and make their setbacks into stepping stone for the success.
Okay, so it's easily possible for the children to do this. Thank you, sir. And because we do not have much time, I really have one last question to ask ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to differentiate between positive emotions and a sense of well-being?
Yeah. So indeed, there is a strong relationship between positive emotions and sense of well-being. Positive emotions, they play a very significant role in promoting and sustaining the overall well-being of an individual. Positive feelings like satisfaction, delight, appreciation, happiness, they are related with work or mental well-being of an individual. They add to the feeling of joy, they add to life fulfillment and satisfaction and enhance the well-being, right? Encountering the positive feelings, they can actually have medical advantages as well. Positive feelings have been connected to bring down the degrees of stress chemicals, decreased irritation, more grounded invulnerable framework, all of which add to the better physical well-being. Then positive feelings, they can upgrade the strength, they can upgrade the abilities to adapt, assisting people with returning from mishaps and afflictions all the more actually, and they give a support against pressure and can assist people explore testing conditions as well. Then experiencing positive emotions, they can also help individuals recover more quickly from the negative emotional experiences. Positive emotions, they act as a counterbalance to negative emotions, helping to restore your emotional equilibrium, and they promote the overall well-being, right? And positive feelings, they widen people's mental conduct, promoting extended thinking, expanded inventiveness. At the point when individuals, they experience the positive feelings, they are bound to think in a different manner, in a deftly manner. Think about more extensive scope of varied outcomes, different outcomes, and they move towards varied issues with imaginations, because they have a positive feeling, they have a positive outlook, they have a divergent thinking process, and so leading to innovations and inventions. So definitely, somewhere I would say that it is the positive emotions, wherein the sense of well-being, they are highly correlated to each other. And positive feelings, they even add to prospering life, and they are basic to well-being. Developing positive feeling through practices like appreciation, care, thoughtful gestures, and encouraging good friendly associations, they can upgrade the general well-being and flexibility despite of our life difficulties of our mundane life that we keep on having.
Right.
And because of the paucity of time, which you have already mentioned, otherwise I would have talked about one of the research, but I would request all the viewers to read this theory given by Barbara Fredrickson, that talks about broaden and build theory.
Okay.
So it is the theory that actually tells the relationship between the positive emotions and a well-being of an individual.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now that you have mentioned it, I'm sure the students, they are definitely going to Google it and they are going to read about this research. Thank you so much, Dr. Sahyog, and thank you so much, Dr. Ashokan, for being with us today. It was a wonderful discussion. There's no doubt in that. And we discussed psychological well-being and growth mindset. Thank you for being with us today. It was a wonderful program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to all the viewers as well for being a part of this program. I really think that you enjoyed this discussion. If in case you have missed watching it, please watch it again on ncertofficial. That is our YouTube channel. With this program, we are wrapping up all our programs for today. But tomorrow we are going to come back again and we are going to take up more topics, more subjects. Until then, I really hope that you have a great evening ahead and you stay safe and healthy. I'm Tanvi Khurana and I'll take a leave of you. Namaskar.
सोच में सकारात्मकता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844-844-0632। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने 844-844-0632।